Should be a big update here. See if everything works. Let me just make sure the audio is going. Alright. Should be a big update here. See if everything works. Let me just make sure the audio is going. Okay, so a number of changes to intuition here. First of all, let's try the scaling. So I'm gonna make this nice and big. I'm just gonna loop this section right here. Okay, so first of all, should have auto makeup gain. Let's try that out. Yep, okay. There should be a drop down for a limiter here. You can choose different modes. Let's try the hard limit right here. And this should follow everything. This is gonna be the last thing, and it's meant to be at 0 decibels, so it's gonna come out at like minus 0.3 dBFS, just in case of like intersample peaks and stuff. So let's, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, but I'm going to crank this. I'm going to turn up the makeup gain. Okay, yeah, there's also a makeup gain now. So, it's clipping it. In fact, I'm going to turn down the master volume so you can see here. I'm going to turn this up all the way. You see it pegged to minus 0.3. Try the soft limiter. Sounds pretty much the same at this at this much clipping. I should run a guitar through here in a second and see just exactly what this what these clippers are doing. In fact, let's do that. So here I'm just going to throw a... It's going to be nothing on here. It's just going to be the guitar with this compressor. I just want to see... I think you guys might have seen the other day I did a anti-aliasing test on this thing. Or sorry, not an anti-aliasing test, an aliasing test. And the soft limiter had a lot less aliasing than the hard limiter did. Okay, there's a guitar. And I'm just going to crank it. I'm going to turn the hard limiter on. Pretty much, you know, what happened. All right, I know this is definitely not what this is for, but humor me here. I'm gonna add a I'm just gonna throw a cabinet emulator, an impulse loader right after this, and let's just see what we get for a guitar amp out of this. Alright, this is totally not supposed to be a guitar amp, but if I had to... real quick. So this is... I can't believe this sounds like an amp. This is crazy. I was just checking to see what kind of clipping it would make. That's not bad. If I had to use this in a pinch as a guitar amp, I could. That's terrible. I know that's not what this thing's for. I'm going to push it up against the rails. This is ridiculous. Like if I put an EQ on here, I bet you. Like, why does that sound so much like a? Hold on. All right, this is silly. Hold on. I'm sorry. It might be. I'm running headphones, so I can't hear stuff as good as normal. But I'm just gonna run bias real quick. Oh, this is messed up. Okay, load my normal preset here. Oh man, come on, bias. There we go. All right, way smoother, right? All right, so that's a real guitar amp plugin. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna put the same speaker cabinet on. That one. This is so wrong. So that's just the clipper. If I had to use it, I mean, I've heard much worse, but yeah, we're not an amp sim company, so anyway, here's the soft clipping mode. Let's see if it's any different. I mean, it's really what you need an EQ, right? I mean, this I was gonna show you drums, so. I know I shouldn't be messing with this stuff. And I know this is totally not what you're here to see, but I didn't expect that it was going to sound this this guitarish, you know. I was just checking I just wanted to see what the character of the clipping was going to be. But I'm going to put a high pass filter on here. I'm going to take a good notch out, add a little bit of fizz, and let's see. And that ain't bad. Put it back on the soft one. I mean, it's making harmonics, right? Okay, but enough. That's not what this thing's for. This is a compressor. It's not a guitar amp sim. Okay, so let me get back to what it's actually supposed to do. So anyway, that's the limiter. Okay, so let's try this out. So I was hoping this thing was going to light up when the limiter went on, but we'll deal with that later. Okay. I don't know why this is so high right now. Seems like it's displaying a little bit tall for... I'm not positive. Whoa, that's not good. I don't think it's supposed to be that high. So anyway, this is where this thing really is going to shine. So we got a drop down now. So I'm going to set this to one measure. And so what we should be seeing. Oh, that's why it's so high. It's because I have the auto gain up. Sorry. Put this back to 0. Okay, so what we're looking at here is I'm looping a measure, and we're looking at a measure being shown on the oscilloscope. So now I'm going to turn off auto makeup gain. I'm just going to put the threshold down. you can see what the compressor's actually doing. I'm going to really hammer it here. And see how it's favoring the kick drums a little bit. I mean, I could go to the keyless and to make it focus more on the snare. Here we go. See how now it's pretty much ignoring the kick drum, right? I'm going to turn the makeup gain on. So what this thing's showing you right here is the blue is what the waveform looks like after the compressor happens, and it's made from right after the makeup gain. So if I turn the makeup gain down, the blue line's can go down. The red is the original. So if I really wanted to, let me get rid of this or so you can really shutter it here with the hold control. You really want to bust this thing up. Here's the auto release mode. Now it's still going to go pretty fast, but shouldn't get cranky on you when it's following a bass guitar waveform. And if I set this to a different watch. Still going to be pretty informative, but if you really want to use it in this mode, like let's say I wasn't doing a loop, take off the beat sync display and you can set this as coarse as you want it. Really tell you what's going on here. I'm still kind of tripping out that it sounded that good as a guitar amp. That's kind of ridiculous. That didn't need to happen. This is so weird. So anyway, I think let's see. How would you use this limiter? I don't see. I'm not really one of them clippy guys, but I could see leaving it on just to make sure you're not going over or something. So. Adds a little something to it if there's I don't think I'd do this on my main normal drums, but definitely for an effect. Yeah, I'm still tripping out that worked like that as a guitar amp. That just makes no sense. That shouldn't be. We always argue constantly over just exactly how tube transfer functions and all that stuff work, and all of a sudden you plug it into what's supposed to just be a clipper and the thing sounded okay. I know it wasn't perfect, and I'm sure there's a ton of purists out there that are gonna kill me for making it sound like that sounded like a guitar distortion, but it did. That was weird. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna watch your ears. I'm going to do a sweep here. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna turn this down so you don't have to hear this craziness. I'm gonna do a sweep from pretty low to all the way up, and so we're gonna hear the aliasing here. And I'm gonna turn off the compressor, okay, but we're gonna turn on the limiter. Okay, so here it is without the limiter on. And so you're going to hear something. Oh, hey, Vadim, so you make amps. So it's going to sound like a spaceship taking off. At least that's my interpretation of what aliasing will sound like if it's going bad. So I'm going to turn on the hard limiter here. Okay, starting to hear that? So I'm going to put a spectrum analyzer up, so start watching the aliasing. You see those frequencies moving backwards? Still, it's not really hammering that hard. I just don't want to turn this up and kill you guys with this, but there we go. Okay, now. So here's the harmonics. See them moving back? Yeah, so that came from Glenn Fricker, actually. He wanted to put a limiter. So there's the aliasing for that. Now, I'm hitting this pretty hard. Let's see what happens when we do the soft limiter. So you don't hear it anywhere near as much, but I mean, you're still going to get it. I mean, I guess we could do some anti-aliasing and stuff, but pragmatically, you know, where you're going to get nailed, right, is the cymbals. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to loop this part again. Where's my loop part? There's a lot of you guys out there that really hear aliasing on everything. I mostly hear it on kind of like a double stop bend on a guitar. But, you know, an amplifier does intermodulation distortion right there too, so it's kind of hard to tell if it's right or not. But, I mean, I can hear some crunchiness. Like, see if we can get that Nintendo 8-bit sound out of the hard limiter. A little bit. Alternatively, let me turn this limiter off. Okay, I'm going to turn this back up. So let's see what happens if we use the infinite. So zero attack, zero RMS. Oh, and we got a look ahead control. I didn't even look at that yet. Yeah, we could. Yeah, in fact, let's try this right here. So I'm gonna turn zero attack, zero release, zero on the RMS window. And let's just make a hard clipper real quick. This is kind of hard to see, so I'm gonna turn this on. You're seeing a little bits where you see the red poking out. There we go. And I'm not sure that we're really going to hear this, but so you see the red poking out right here. So that's being clipped. Let's go a little bit more. All right, see now you're starting to hear that put. Now, I'm not sure. Okay, so there's something we got to work on. The gain reduction. It's showing in here, but it's not showing on the readout. Okay, so there's one thing to deal with. I suppose if it had a release, it will. Yep, see that? So at zero release, it's not showing it max gain reduction. So let me just put that up to our coder. So this is how you do it, man. You keep putting little bug reports or whatever. So yeah, so that's that. So that's being used as a clipper. So I'm going to turn on look ahead. See, I'm not sure it's going to matter all that much. Let's see if we can't ramp into this thing. So 20 milliseconds look ahead, which is kind of ridiculously big, but let's take a look. Kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure that this look ahead is going because I'm not seeing a delay. Oh, that's why. Okay, so look ahead isn't in yet. That's what should be coming later. Everything else, it seems right. So Vadim is saying maybe you could try low passing the controlling chain just to take down the harmonics significantly. That's an interesting idea. We'll see. But so here's your clipper. Now what happens if I take this clipper and interesting. Right? That is cool. I'm gonna move the attack up, watch. Gee, it doesn't take much. So if you really wanted to know about something like a kick drum, so you know, of course the problem is that actually, you know what? I'm just going to move this beat just the tiniest bit, and I'm going to loop just this one quarter note right here, okay? Okay, so we can really get a good look at this thing. And so you can see how your attack affects things in real time. See that? Isn't that cool? Let's get a release on here. See that? Look at that. What better educational tool could you possibly want? I'm still tripping out that it sounded like a guitar amp. That is, you know, I wonder, what do you do? Run two of these things together at the same time? Hold on. I know. Yeah, sorry about that, but this is just tripping me out too much. So let me pull this up again. Run another instance of it to distort it even more, you know. Like, are we in the guitar amp business? I don't think so. I was just saying this morning we're not. But such a trip. I mean, without it, yeah. That is goofy. All right. I guess we're gonna fix a couple little things and then